everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothwell, and here are 772 things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. Now, I want you to memorize all of them line by line. No, I'm just kidding. Good news for most of you is that 767 of these are coming in the forms of an earnings announcement. That's where we start our week off. As I mentioned, 767 reporting this week, and there are a few larger names out there, but again, most of the big stuff is out of the way. We start things off on Tuesday. That's right, Monday, kind of boring. Tuesday, you've got Home Depot, Baidu, and Keysight Technologies. Wednesday brings you Cisco, Target, and TJ Maxx, as we do have a lot of retail companies reporting this week. Thursday brings you Alibaba, Walmart, Applied Materials, Decker Outdoors, and Ross Stores. And on Friday, you've got John Deere and Foot Locker, and that pretty much is all your earnings. Nothing too exciting on that list. Maybe the Walmart and Target battle would be interesting, especially seeing how the sales are going with all the issues with China, etc. But really, the focus will be on retail sales. And that, my friends, is where we shift to next, which is the retail sales numbers coming out this week. As you can see here, this goes back into 2018, and generally retail sales are fairly flat. Of course, the whole pandemic thing messed everything up with these wild fluctuations, and now on the hard right edge, you can see it's kind of consolidated and gotten back to its normal flat level. Now, what is concerning is that the past couple of readings for retail sales have both been negative. The previous one was at negative 1%. We don't want to see that as an expanding economy. Of course, we want GDP to be growing, so we'd like to see the retail sales numbers higher. The good news is that the expectation right now is that retail sales are going to go from negative 1% to a positive 0.7%, as you can see by that little red arrow there. So that's actually really good news for anybody looking at the macro picture of the markets and thinking we need to have retail sales increase. Of course, we don't know if that's officially going to be released at that number, but the expectation right now is that the retailers are doing slightly better. Now, one of the components that makes up a big chunk of GDP and economic growth is housing markets. So we'll focus on our housing markets next, which is going to be a pretty busy week for anything to do with housing. There's really 4 announcements coming out. The first one is the NAHB Housing Market Index, which is the National Association of Home Builders. That's coming out Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And this one, if it's above 50, generally means that there's positive feelings from home builders about the economy and markets going forward. Right now, it's below 50, and expectations are we're going to come out about 43 or 44. It's been below 50 since August of last year, so it's been fairly pessimistic on the part of home builders, and maybe we'll see a change there. Next on your list for homes, we got a twofer coming out on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be building permits and housing starts, so that's great from a macroeconomic perspective as well, because we get a sense as to what are people doing with their homes. Remember, more housing starts, more building permits means more consumption of raw materials, and just plain outright jobs. And finally, on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have the existing home sales numbers coming out. Now, of course, with mortgage rates rising as they have been and slowly drifting down, I might add, there's a lot of speculation on what those existing home sales numbers will be. Now, of course, this is really important because it's jobs, it's wealth, right? If we see existing home sales slide, that means that more people are going to lower their prices, and of course, that's wealth deterioration. If we see existing home sales surge, that means that people are most likely demanding homes, prices rise, and wealth grows. So this wealth component of our economy, definitely looking at the existing home sales numbers coming out on Thursday. And our final piece of information. At this point, I think we all understand who is the most powerful person in the world other than you, and that is Mr. Jerome Powell. Now, he doesn't look so excited in this picture, and who knows what he's going to say, but there is a speech that he's going to be giving this week, and it is a pretty important one. As you can see here, he will be giving a presentation, actually a panel discussion, on the perspectives on monetary policy at the Thomas Laubach Research Center. That's Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, this is, of course, important because Jerome Powell wields a very heavy stick with regards to market behavior. And if he says something during that panel discussion which spooks the market, we could see a lot of volatility. Now, there's no way to anticipate exactly what's going to be said. Generally, he is going to paint a more positive picture for the markets, and that's what most economists believe. However, it would probably be beneficial for you to stay on the sidelines right around 11 o'clock, maybe for the next hour, just because you don't know what he's going to say, and that could create a lot of whipsaw and undue volatility that may impact your trading. And that, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must-Knows with 772 items for you to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. We'll see you next week.